One of the most important things that you're going to want to recognize in a child is any change in their behavior. So important with working with children is the communication. You have to be able to communicate with your child. If you notice changes in their behaviors, specifically aggressive behaviors, so these aggressive behaviors, you might see it either towards a younger sibling or maybe even towards pets. That typically is a sign that there is something happening, aggression toward them at school. Another sign that a child might be experiencing bullying at school is maybe withdrawal. So normally a child comes home from school and they're excited and they want to play. Now they really just kind of want to retreat and go out to their room, and they don't really want to play as much as they used to. That is also a sign that something may be happening at school. So what can parents and caregivers do? Communication. Talk to them. Ask them about their day. And this is something that should be done on a regular basis, so it wouldn't be completely out of the norm for the child to want to come and communicate with the parent if something were happening. Communicating with the school as well. When you notice these changes in your child's behavior, reach out to the teacher. Communicate with the teacher. Say, did anything perhaps happen at school today? Are you noticing any changes in my son or my daughter's friends at school? So keeping in contact with the school is extremely important as well. In more extreme cases, when the child starts wetting the bed after a time where they have already been potty trained, that's also another indicator that something negative may be happening at school. Talking to children about bullying, that was going to depend on the age of the child. The younger ones, it might be a little bit more difficult to have this conversation. And when I say younger, I mean the 4, the 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds. For this population, one of my recommendations is storytelling. There are some amazing books out there on bullying behaviors that help children have a better understanding of what bullying really means. Some people look at bullying as just physical aggression, but there's emotional aggression as well. The Not So Friendly Friend is one example of an excellent book that I personally read to my daughter. It's about how to set boundaries for healthy relationships. It's got beautiful illustrations for the child, and it's all in a very rhyming tone. So when you rhyme, it also makes it more interesting for the child to read. In essence, what this book helps is to see that sometimes somebody who is your friend one day and a friend not the next day could actually be bullying you, in the sense that they're saying, well, if you don't do this, then I'm not going to be your friend. And that can hurt a child and confuse them in thinking, well, but I thought we were friends. And I thought that if I did everything you said, that would make me your friend. So storytelling is one way to open up this conversation with the child that maybe speaking to them directly might be a little bit more challenging. For the older children, the younger preteens and teenagers, maintaining open communication is the best way to be able to communicate with them about changes that are happening at school, changes in behavior and bullying behaviors. So maintaining communication with your children is the absolute key to helping them work through all of these. Empathy, recognizing that, you know what, you really are having a hard time right now. And then validating their feelings. I get that. I totally understand how this can be challenging for you. Let's talk together, rather than telling them, do it like this, do it like that. When you provide too much confrontative conversation, they're likely to retract. So what you want is to make them feel that you guys are in this together, and that will more likely help to open up the lines of communication. Some of the risk factors that make children more vulnerable to bullying are children with low self-esteem and children that feel that they need to please everyone, so the people pleasers. So children that feel that they need to be liked by everyone and therefore need to listen to what people tell them to do, even if it's something that they're not comfortable with doing. Low self-esteem is another huge indicator. They don't feel comfortable with themselves. They don't feel that they belong. So once again, they will likely fall prey to other children that feel the need to control by bullying. So parents, it's important to listen to your children. It's important to spend quality time with your children. And it's important to open your communication with your children. Talking to them daily, asking them questions daily is really the most important and crucial piece of maintaining a healthy relationship with your child, and the healthier relationship you have with your child, the more confident they're going to feel within themselves, thus increasing their self-esteem. Providing a safe and comfortable environment is key to help in these situations. Children need to feel safe at home, in a therapy session with a therapist, and especially need to feel safe in their school. The most important thing is for parents to be able to communicate with teachers and identify this child that may or may not be bullying your child, because that child needs help as well. So how do parents build a safe and comfortable environment to the child? Listening to them, allowing them to speak, allowing them to verbalize their feelings. Unfortunately, very often children, especially younger children, are overlooked. They speak and only when you're spoken to. That is a very highly old school way of thinking. Children need to be able to express themselves respectfully and properly, but to be able to express themselves and talk to you. The more that the child is going to feel comfortable talking to you, the more that they're going to be able to stand up for themselves. But they need to be comfortable in their own environment at home. So providing structure, providing routines, providing a calm and loving environment is one of the main keys that will help in providing. So one of the most important ways that a child can build resilience, believe it or not, giving them chores to do at home. I know children are not going to like me for this, but it's true. The more responsibility you give a child in a home that's age appropriate, the more you're actually increasing pro-social behaviors outside of the home, and you're also helping them feel good about themselves, important in their society, which is their home environment. So that right there helps to build the resilience. Another thing that's extremely important is allowing a child to speak up for themselves. When they are being treated in a way that they are not comfortable, i.e. bullied, at school, you want them to speak up for themselves. But if they're not allowed to speak up for themselves in the home, how are they going to learn to do that in the school? So one thing that you can do as a parent is allow your child to speak up for themselves, defend themselves. I told you to clean your room. Don't talk back to me, just go clean your room. Oh, you can talk back. You can do it respectfully, but you can tell me whatever it is you need to say in a respectful tone, always with respect, but allow them to speak up for themselves to one of the most important people in their lives, which is their parent. If they can speak up to you, they will speak up for themselves outside the home as well.